Thanks for staying with us here on Breakfast Central. Time for us to go into our first conversation. We're taking it to Kaduna, where there's been a back and forth if there was kidnapping that did take place of some worshippers at different churches on the same day. Now, if you've been following this story, News Central has consistently done justice by going to the community itself, particularly to find out if this kidnapping happened. Just yesterday, the police had said no such thing happened, especially in Kuruminwali community, Kajuru Local Government Area of Kaduna State. As we speak to you this morning, there seems to be a turnaround as the Inspector General of Police, Kajuru Local, has directed that the full deployment of critical operational intelligence assets to Kajuru and surrounding communities takes place immediately. And finally, the police have admitted that there was indeed mass abduction of worshippers in Kaduna. One man has been busy, he's working tirelessly. His name is Emmanuel Bagudu, News Central ace reporter, who has been there himself, covering the ground and bringing the truth to you. So let's take a look at what he was able to cover.
Coming, people run out from the church, they come break the door. The people were men inside.
This is the door they broke?
Yeah.
This is the door they broke?
Yes.
Abba, show us the door. Okay, let's go. So what happened here?
See the way they scatter everything.
These are musical instruments.
They scatter everything. Even the what our the way we have inside church, they scatter everything.
Sure. What's this?
Because
You can't
they scatter everything in the church. You can even see this. This is new one. Keep it here, they bring it down, they scatter everything in the church. You can even see everything. They scatter even the chairs, they bust our
scatter chairs.
Yes.
This thing that I want to do this. Wait. Abba, let's see. Wait. Are we on what's this? Man, these are the chairs supposed to be. What's this? May I have the chairs? Who's going on? They are the ones that did this? Harvest. Okay, this is what you guys use for harvest. So Abba, let's see. So on a very good day, this is supposed to be a church, a place of worship. That's what we see here, right?
Yeah.
So they are the one that did this.
Yeah, they packed some things and come up with it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Even on my
Which church is this?
This is C&S number 2.
C&S number 2 Kuruminwali means church, Cherubim and Seraphim 2, number 2 Kuruminwali. Yeah. Let's go to a watch of guys. Let's go to a watch.
Police commissioner, we had the local government chairman of that particular local government, Kajuru, denying that the attack really happened. It's all over social media. Of course, we got access to that community. Of course, not without some fracas, but we got access to the communities. We visited the 3 churches where the communities claim that the attackers came to attack them. They took us Cherubim and Seraphim 1, Cherubim and Seraphim 2, and of course, Equa Church, all in Kuruminwali. And of course, we did all the coverage. We spoke to a lot of victims. Women, they told us that pregnant women were abducted. They told us that a total of 163 persons are currently in the bush, in the forest, with the kidnappers. They narrated every experience which we had fully on camera. They said that Nigerian police lied, their local government chairman lied, and that they owe them some level of accountability why they have to lie to the world that this never happened. And it happened, they said it happened, and they showed us how it happened. They took us to the churches, they took us to the houses. Those that were injured, we have them all covered on camera. So the controversy there is the fact that the government doesn't want to come out. According to the community, the government doesn't want to give an impression of a Christian genocide. That is why they are making those kind of alleged false accusations on Nigerian media. But of course, a lot of Nigerian media, including international media, had got access to that community today. Some came in on chopper, some came in by air, some came in by land, some got access, and they got every details. And I believe these reportages may make the Kaduna State government, of course, the police, and the local government chairman retract their statement probably by tomorrow.
We do have joining us a security expert, Dr Abdullahi Awwal, joined us all the way from Kaduna. Good morning. Thank you for being here on Breakfast Central.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's been a back and forth situation. First off, the police said there was no such thing that took place in Kaduna. And here we are again, a turnaround, the police saying absolutely there was. But our reporter went right into that community, as you could also see in that video. My question to you basically is, why do you think we're having a repetition of an attack, especially on churches, especially looking at the fact that the recent one that took place saw the United States of America react, and here we are again? Or is there someone or some people behind these attacks who are looking to cause more trouble and more harm, especially for this administration?
Thank you very much. That is a wonderful question, because that is my line of thinking, and that is also the line of thinking of every good thinking and patriotic Nigerian. I will tell you clearly, without ambiguity, that we are of the opinion that this it's a theory, more like trying to create confusion, trying to create mayhem, trying to give the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu a very bad name. This is a politically motivated attack. Under normal circumstances, the claims were that motorbikes were stolen, and then that those people will not be released until those motorbikes are returned. I find it very, very absurd, very, very unreasonable, very, very unbelievable for 3 churches, people to be adopted from 3 different churches just for the purpose of a claim of motorcycles were stolen. That is one. 2, the situation with Nigeria, most especially with the present administration vis-a-vis the American government, to be precise, President Donald Trump, who under the present circumstances had always had this belief that there's a Christian genocide in Nigeria. So this is why we believe this is politically motivated. It is being done so that to give, to continue to give another bad name to the government, and also to create the impression further that yes, there are Christian genocide, yes, that the government is not doing everything possible to protect the Christian community. This is just the simple thing that is going on. But I can tell you that this is just like the Inspector General of Police have given an instruction. The Minister of Defense is doing everything that they can do. Same with other security agencies to unravel who are the people behind all these things and what are the motives. But like I said, the motives can be deducted so simply. Trying to create that bad impression, trying to create that situation where the government would have bad name, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would be seen as incapable or incapacitated, or the security agencies would be seen as incapacitated. Otherwise, you will clearly cannot see a reason where this is happening. It has not happened in the past. These kidnappings has always been kidnapping people on the roads, or even going to houses, private homes, to kidnap 1 or 2 people. And in most cases, it has no religious coloration. But this is clearly stage managed. As far as a lot of those that know security, those that understand the nitty-gritties of security, those that knows what is the country is going through vis-a-vis the American situation, it is a clear thing that is a stage managed thing. Nobody will simply believe that the abduction is a normal one, or it's just being specifically targeted against the Christians. But we believe that it is being stage managed just to give the government a bad name. That is a politically motivated abduction.
Okay.
This is the belief.
Now, Dr. Awwal, whether it's politically motivated or not, Nigerians deserve to live in peace, and it's the responsibility of a government to protect the lives of the citizens. No Nigerian citizen should be abducted in that manner. And therefore, my question is, as a security expert, we do know that the first 48 hours is very crucial in solving any crime and in terms of security. So the time the Nigerian police force and the Kaduna State government expended in denying this this abduction, denying that the abduction never took place, asking CAN for victims list, if they had put that energy into recovering or trying to bring back the innocent people that were abducted, do you think would have made a lot of headway in terms of returning them back to the communities?
Well, you see, these situations, yes, you may be right. If that has been done, possibly something would have been reached out by now. But I can also tell you that in some situations, things like this, when they happen, even while there are denials, for as long as there are evidence or truth of that something like that has happened, I can tell you that most likely there's a behind-the-scene push on trying to get to those people, on trying to get to apprehend them, on trying to get to rescue these people. That is, if as at the time the denial was going on, the government didn't really get the required information, because, you know, this is about information. This is about getting to know if it has happened or not. And like I said, there is a suspicion and counter-suspicion. There is plans and counter-plans just to blackmail government. So this possibility of the denial may come out of the fact that at the very initial stage, before it was deeply investigated and questions were asked, and then maybe possibly a lot of reach out and then confirmation were made, possibly there was some element of that suspicion that it didn't really happen. It's just trying to call the attention of the international community and, of course, the Christian community in Nigeria, just to have that, like I said, bad name for the government. Possibly that was what happened. Underlying when I say possibly, that there's a possibility of that happening. That was why the government and then the police authority in Kaduna initially denied such a thing. Because if you listen to the statement, it says the local government chairman, the community leader, that is the chief or the emir or something like that, and of course the state government and all, even the CAN itself chairman, was at the initial stage saying that by the commissioner of police that nothing as such has happened. But then they call for, if there is information, credible information of such things, that the police were ready to go into it and do the needful. This was the initial one. So if you read between the lines of the statement made by the commissioner of police, it might be suggesting to you that as at the time the statement were being made, there was no real confirmation, or there was a certain level of suspicion of a cooked thing. But be that as it may, the IG has come out to clarify issues and then to confirm the abduction and also give further instruction that they should make sure that the victims are rescued. So this is one good step, even if the generality of Nigerians or the community might begin to see that the first step was a wrong one. Then another good step has been taken after confirmation. This, you will understand, security matters are very complex issues. They are very complex things. You don't just draw conclusions just like that. If you recall, and every Nigerian will remember that once there is an issue, there's an incident, when you reach out to the police, they will tell you that they are investigating. They have not gotten to the nip of it, so they may not be making a statement. In most cases, you find that such things had happened. But under these circumstances, it's too open that 3 different churches were attacked and then abductions were made. So possibly that was what happened. But whatever it is, now that there's a confirmation of the abduction and there's an instruction of rescue by the IG of police, and I also want to tell you that that of the IG is the one that is out because it's police that made the statement earlier. But other security agencies are working hand in hand to ensure that these abductees are safely returned back home. Meanwhile, like I said earlier, the suspicion of the possibility of stage-managed abduction is equally there. It's on a 50-50 basis as I speak to you.
The fact, I mean, you said a number of things. You talked about the fact that this is stage managed. You believe it's stage managed. Might be stage managed, and no, I don't think it might be. I think you believe for just to clarify. Are you saying for certain that the 3 churches being attacked was stage managed to paint a negative picture? Can we please clarify that?
No. I am not making an affirmative statement.
Okay.
I am saying the possibility.
All right.
So I said it's a 50-50 situation.
Okay.
It's a 50-50 situation. We know, you know, I know, every Nigerian know that the issue between Nigeria and the United States of America, or let me say between the issue between Nigeria and the President Trump of America that had to do with the Christian genocide, as alleged that there was Christian genocide. He has taken the matter so serious, and the American government are taking it so serious to the level of even calling for separation, that Nigeria should be separated. So it's a very complex and a very serious matter. So those that want to take advantage of that situation might arrange something to give further credence to what President Trump is saying, or the alleged the allegation, so that it will have some level of credence, and then that will give a further push to what the American president is saying. So there is the 50% possibility of such a thing happening, because such thing has not happened in the past, where you have 3 churches being broken, let me say so this, and then people are adopted at the same time, the same day, in the same community. It looks suspicious. It has never happened in the past. Yes, there were various abductions, but it is not concentrated on religious abduction. It is concentrated mostly on who they think has money. They will go and adopt and then get money. A mass abduction has taken place. If you take, for example, the Kaduna train abduction and other abductions that have taken place, were not really concentrated on Christians, and it's not a massive abduction. You find out it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, apart from that of the train, like that. But this one is coming massively. It is coming in the same community. It is reaching out to different churches at the same moment. It is actually suspicious. This is why we said it might be a state-managed adoption, so that it will give a bad name to the government. So it's a 50-50 situation, but not an affirmative statement that it is so. No, I'm not making an affirmative statement.
Okay, so let me take
the possibility.
Let me take the 50%, right? You said it's a 50-50 situation. Let me take the 50% probability of this having been staged managed. And let's assume, if, assuming without conceding that it was staged managed, does that not also reflect a deeper societal problem about the government's inability to protect the citizens if they're able to carry out these attacks and citizens are at the mercy of these terrorists? That's one. 2, the Nigerian police came out initially to deny. The first position should have been to carry out a thorough investigation, as opposed to clearly denying, then now coming around to turn, to change their stance, which in some measure would further, push forward the mistrust that citizens already have for the police, especially because we're in a sensitive time where kidnappings have become a stock in trade, unfortunately. So shouldn't the first response have been to do a thorough investigation, as opposed to denying, outrightly denying, and then now coming? Does this second acceptance negate the terribly wrong mistake that was made at first?
I agree with you that there is a mistake there. There is a mistake in the statement. We're human beings, and then for one reason or the other, such things has happened. It is actually not a community will get the true picture, the true reality, if what is on the ground is entirely different from trying to only give a good image or trying to sell the government to the international community
are you
in good line.
Doctor, are you saying that you agree that $9 million was good enough, was okay to be spent on that, to lobby for that? Which would you choose? Would you rather go for sorry please, would you rather go for lobbying, or would you go for solving the problem?
I would go for solving the problem, but you can only solve the problem by also making those that are trying to attack the nation and also giving the nation a bad name, bad impression, and something that is not true, a false allegation. I would rather repeat, go for the government doing the needful, trying to protect the citizen rather than trying to create a good image. But also without the good image, we will continue to have an attack. Don't forget, recently we have 2 or 3 bombings from America. Whether Nigerian government is involved or not is a different thing entirely, but there are something has happened that has never happened in the history of this country.
Okay.
A foreign nation in an attempt to assist the country, sending in bombs to bomb, let's even assume it is the criminals. So why did that happen? Because there is a bad impression. There is a false allegation. So I'm not in support of...
No, but that was in partnership with the Nigerian government. Dr. Awwal,
please.
Sorry, I just want to correct an impression you just made, but that was in tandem with the Nigerian government. The bombing. The Nigerian government came out to say they're working with the United States.
I agree. This is why I said that I did not create an impression. I said whether the Nigerian government work with the American government on that very issue or not. This is what I said. What matters is there was a bombing, and it has never happened in the past. Even if you are coming to assist the country, that happened because there was an impression that was created for the American government, and that impression was a false impression of issue of Christian genocide. Underline this statement, Christian genocide. You and I and every Nigerian know that there was no such thing as Christian genocide. But impression has
again,
been
that is still subject
the
to
American government has accepted it, and then they are coming to tell Nigerians that you have to work with us to be able to do something about that very matter. And then we are having an abduction in 3 different churches now to further give credit to that initial false impression and false allegation of Christian genocide. This is what I'm saying. So if the government is doing everything to make sure that it creates a very good image of the country before the international community, and also to express the reality on ground that there was no such thing as alleged, I don't think it is bad, even though I'm not of the opinion that such amount of money should have been used. But then I agree that there's need for the country to give a true impression of what is truly happening in the country to the international community, instead of allowing false impression to continue to roll and the country continue to have.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr.
Abdullahi Awwal. And would end by saying that a good image comes when a government secures the lives of its citizens and pays it utmost importance. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate your insights.
Thank you for having me.